Yes.
So
once you had the kid make the hike, did you have something to give him?
Yes, there was plenty of candy.
All right.
But
the worst, make it all the way up there. You don't have anything?
Did you guys get good costumes? I mean, did you when you were a kid?
Oh, of course.
Oh, no,
we'd make them.
We had to make our own. You sit there and you cut up some pants.
I always store-bought. I had the Bugs Bunny. And
me too. I always
bought this.
With the plastics, ultra flammable costume.
No, we always made our own.
Anywhere near a source of heat.
Right up, yeah. Not like now.
Remember the masks where the eye holes were so close together?
You couldn't see anything really.
Well, you had to pick one eye hole to look out.
You look out the nose. You look out the nose, maybe in the bottom. Yeah. Right, sure.
Well, those are the good old days.
Yeah.
I always wanted a sheet. I always wanted a homemade costume, something. The cold cream with the coffee grounds, and you go out as a hobo in your dad's shoes. And
there were some good costumes here. One guy showed up at one of the contests dressed as a bloody glove.
Ooh. Ooh. The Clinton mask had two faces this year. Did you see that?
I did not know that.
I didn't know that. Will Durst is our guest.
Oh, you saw a joke there, did you?
Yeah. Now, before we move on, I wanted to offer this up.
Let's face it, wearing a tampon is very uncomfortable. It's not something you'd want to do every day. Until now. Introducing the micro-vibrating tampon from Playtech. Imagine the convenience of a highly absorbent tampon combined with the pleasure of a vibrator. This new tampon is the best tampon I've ever... It's sleek design and... Listen, I gotta go. Oh, God.
The new micro-vibrating tampon from Playtech. You'll wish it was more than once a month.
Oh, wow. Got to get some of those.
Fine.
Well,
let's see now. I know, Bob, you're going to head out here. Do we have the Todd Snyder piece from a couple days ago?
Sure you do.
Either one of them. Todd Snyder was our guest. He's on Margaritaville Records, which is a record label run by Mr. Jimmy Buffett. And Jimmy liked Todd and put out a record. And Todd has done a couple of acoustic tunes for us while he was here.
Not there.
And they're not over there?
Not over here, no.
Wait a minute.
Do you have one?
I got one of them over here. Try this one, chick.
Okay. That'd be it.
Oops.
Hey, nice.
Thank you.
Nice catch, Sean.
Got it.
Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have bunted.
Yeah, maybe you should have.
This is Todd Snyder.
My Generation Part 2 on Q95. Where is it?
Right there.
Yeah, I remember how that goes.
Okay, good.
Well, my old man says the Woodstock generation found a way to make this nation open up its eyes and take a look around. But he says my generation ain't good for nothing. I could think of something, so I thought I'd jot it down. So here's the hair gel, hanging out at the health spa, using condom sense and watching L.A. Law. Here's the drum machine, stonewashed jeans, credit cards, fax machines, big bow-headed chicks with frat guys. Wearing $40 tie-dye T-shirts and big bold paisley ties. Here's to living off dad as long as you can and blending in with the crowd. Oh, my generation, my generation, my generation should be proud. We were raised up in the hallowed halls of 500,000 shopping malls, and there ain't any price that we're too proud to pay. We'll buy anything from Diet Sprite to 1,000 points of light. I admit we're not that bright, but I'm proud anyway. So here's to hair gel, hanging out at the health spa, using condom sense and watching Arsenio Hall. And here's to drum machines, stonewashed jeans, credit cards and fax machines, big bow-headed chicks and frat guys. Wearing $40 tie-dye t-shirts and big bold paisley ties. Here's to living off dad as long as you can and blending in with the crowd. Oh, my generation, my generation, my generation. Strike a pose, there's nothing to it. My generation, oh, my generation should be proud.
You're not off your rocker. You're on Q95.
Q95, the rock and roll station, just after 9 o'clock, about 9:04, WFBQ, WNDE, Indianapolis.
Good morning. A sunny day today, and actually kind of nice, but getting real cold tonight. There's officially a freeze warning out from the National Weather Service. Expect temperatures today in the mid-50s. Right now, we're almost up to 50 degrees. But tonight, down to about 30, and then for tomorrow, Friday, sunny with highs in the upper 50s. We're expecting to speak with actor Leslie Nielsen in about 20 minutes. So look forward to talking to Leslie, who's, of course, star of the Naked Gun series. And what was the TV show he was on for so long?
It was something like, the police squad thing. He was on that, but before that, he was on a more serious police show, and I forget, it was called New York Police, and it was actually serious, and that's where they got the idea for Police Squad, and that's where one of the Zuckers or Abrahams or whatever the hell their name are, they thought he'd be funny in the Airplane movie, and they was right.
Yeah, so we'll be talking to him in about 20 minutes. Also coming up, the Q95 cash song, the Hoosier Lotto cash song this morning, Kathmandu from Bob Seger, and Sports the Way he sees it, pal, with Mark Patrick. But first, these travel tips.
I've been in the right place, but it must have been wrong.
And now, this week's travel tips with Dr. John.
That was it. You could go to off-peak. Round trip. You could get, and then you did a group rate. Oh, when it's say, then it's double occupancy. And it's a super saver. With discount. Or you could get the business class. And then you get the fall foliage. Anyway, KOA. And we get it at Carl's Bad Cabin. Anyway, well, just a diner job for this next week.
I was in the right place, but it must have been wrong.
Join us next week for more travel tips with Dr. John.
Mount Rushmore.
Q95, 10 minutes after 9 o'clock. Time for entertainment news and sports the way he sees it, bub.
Christy, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good. Tell me.
Christy. Chixty.
Chixty? Chixty, that's neat. Okay, here's what's going on in entertainment news. Your living room could turn into the Voodoo Lounge November 25th. That's if you order the pay-per-view Voodoo Lounge, the Rolling Stones live. The Rolling Stones will perform live from Miami. No word on the special celebrity host or special guest yet. That show will cost you about $26. Melissa Etheridge plans to sing the national anthem at a tribute to Martina Navratilova. The song kicks off the Virginia Slims Championships, where Martina is expected to write the final chapter in her professional tennis career.
Sounds like some sort of long and involved joke involving.
You know, when is that? Because I've got to find something before then.
Will Frank be there? PHRANC, Frank?
Oh, it doesn't say about it. I don't know.
What is the date on that thing?
I don't know when the date is.
Folk singer.
I don't know. It doesn't say here in this account. I apologize.
We have a piece that I have not been able to find for quite some time.
A Martina piece?
Yeah, it was a song that we did called Hey Martina, What's Eating You?
I remember that.
It was a classic.
Gee, it's a shame you haven't been able to find that.
Oh, that got pulled? Oh,
Yeah.
no wonder.
The Rolling Stones, REM, and the Beastie Boys share something in common. They have all won Billboard Music Video Awards for Best Clip of the Year. REM won in the pop category for Everybody Hurts. The Rolling Stones won in the rock category for Love Is Strong. And Beastie Boys won in the modern rock category for Sabotage.
Have you seen that Rolling Stones video?
That is a cool video.
Where they're giants
Yes.
walking through the
Going
streets
through
of
New York.
That's
That is
amazing.
cool. It's so obvious. It's a wonder no one else has thought of doing that video that way. I mean, it's
great.
It's a great idea. Yeah.
There will be a live album by the Police sometime next year. It'll be a double, one CD coming from a 1980 show, the other from a concert in 85. That according to their manager. Funny men Jerry Seinfeld, Jay Leno, Paul Reiser, George Wallace, and Larry Miller will do a benefit concert on Sunday in Los Angeles for the children of Dennis Wolfberg, who passed away of cancer October 3rd. They'll perform at the Wiltern Theater in L.A. at 7:30. Of course, Dennis Wolfberg, a friend of our shows, the friend of the show.
Yeah, that's great. There's also well, you mentioned that. There's also a place you can send donations. If you recall, we were talking about Dennis a couple weeks ago, and he was on the show many times. If you were interested in helping out, it's the Wolfberg Children's Educational Trust, care of Sydney Pazoff, Pazoff, maybe it's Pazoff, 15456 Ventura Boulevard, number 300, Sherman Oaks, California, 91403. I'll put that at the front desk. If people that are fans of Dennis want to make a donation to his kids, they can do that.
Don't look for the new Megadeth album in Malaysia or Singapore, in case you happen to be there. Euthanasia has been banned because officials don't like the cover, a computer-generated digital image showing an elderly washerwoman hanging infants on a clothesline. The record also has run into trouble in Canada and Germany, where some major retailers have been reluctant to stock it.
No such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah.
There you go.
Original Saturday Night Live writer Michael O'Donoghue, a two-time Emmy winner who wrote screenplays for castmates Gilda Radner and Bill Murray, passed away Tuesday in New York after a brain hemorrhage. He was 54. As Tom pointed out earlier this morning, there's a quote in here from Mr. O'Donoghue. Any good humor is sophomoric, he once said. Sophomoric, the liberal word for funny.
He wrote the opening sketch for the very first Saturday
he
Night
was
Live.
there with John Belushi, and John Belushi played some sort of foreigner, and Michael O'Donoghue was teaching him English, but it wasn't. He was making him repeat phrases, and Michael said, "I'm going to feed," and John would go, "I'm going to feed your fingertips to the Wolverines."
That's exactly what that sketch was called, The Wolverines.
That was
That's
the
right.
first sketch.
Yeah, such great
time
memory.
I really remember him being on that show. I know that was the first one. My first memory of him was when he comes out and he says, "I'd like to do some impressions now."
Oh, that's where we talked about this earlier. Yeah,
The Tony Orlando
and Dawn thing, where
singing with hot steel rods,
Yeah.
18-inch solid steel needles.
Now I'd like to do Merv Griffin sticking a needle into his eyeball.
Yeah, he just starts screaming. Yeah.
And
he would always go, "I think it would go a little something like this."
We had a chance to talk to him. I guess it was in April or something.
He was fantastic.
It was a very interesting interview.
Tom Snyder returns to the Late Night Network beat in January. CBS says Snyder's new program, The Late, Late, Late Show with Tom Snyder, will debut Monday, January 9th. It'll follow David Letterman.
Are they going to get rid of that close-up they use of him all the time? When he's hosting his show, the camera is always
right
really,
there.
really, really close. That makes you nervous. Man.
I think it's so they can get away from his comb over.
He started knowing some good people, evidently. That's how he get Letterman on your side, I guess. Man.
Hold your breath for this one, Tom. You ready? Pia Zadora and her husband are splitting up. She's filed for divorce in Las Vegas.
I still got a shot.
She cites incompatibility with her 70-year-old husband. I think Meshulam Rikalis,
Greatest actor there ever was, Tom Mix.
former owner of the Riviera Hotel. Zadora apparently will get custody of the couple's 2 children.
How old is Pia?
She's about my age. 30,
In her
30,
early 30s?
mid-30s, maybe.
Okay.
I thought her name was P. Isadora. I did for the longest
Isadora?
time. P. Isadora.
Not Pia.
Not Pia.
Pia.
Like it is.
Pia. Maybe the law of the jungle, but that doesn't make it art, according to the French, who shut down an avant-garde show of spiders, snakes, scorpions, and toads devouring each other.
Hosted by Jim Stafford.
I don't like
snakes.
Actually, it was hosted by a Chinese artist who put the caged creatures on display where they were to eat each other in a statement on humankind's dog-eat-dog world.
I wonder Yoko didn't have something to do with this.
You're right. The city's veterinary services and police banned the work on Tuesday, citing laws forbidding cruelty to animals and unauthorized animal shows.
Hey, see this dead cockroach at the bottom of my shoe? $5.
It's an art.
It's an art.
It's art, man.
I'll sign it for you.
I'll dip it in urine. It'll be $50. Come on.
The Alligator Brothers are playing tonight out on the west side at Hoosiers. Join Jimmy Mad Dog Matus if you would care to do that. It'll be
Jimmy
a lot
Mad
of
Dog
Mantis.
Oh, I'm sorry.
His new
name, Mantis.
The superhero DJ, is that what he is?
Is he going to do the whole blackface thing?
I think he might.
Is he going to be in a wheelchair the
Jimmy
whole
Mad
bit?
Dog Mantis. Alligator Brothers are great. They do a lot of great soul
fun.
music. They're fantastic. They feature Carl Story and Mike Reed and some other great players, Ricky Bennett.
Leroy Gator. You're not supposed to say their real name.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so they're great obscure musicians you've never seen before. You won't recognize virtually all of them.
Oh, no. You've never seen them before.
Okay, sorry.
The drummer.
They're the Gator Brothers. Let's talk with Mark Patrick, sports the way he sees it, pal. Marcus?
Brought to you by Hardee's. Try the Hot Melt and get 2 sandwiches for $2. Roast beef and cheddar, hot ham and cheese, or mushroom and Swiss. It's 2 for $2 at Hardee's. And I think there were several hot melts on the floor last night at MSA at the end of the game. And several Coca-Colas and beers.
Is this problem with the foul calling universal in the NBA?
It is universal. I think that last night was really intensified by the presence of Darryl Gerritsen, who is the NBA director of officiating, and the 3 officials who were on hand, including one rookie who was in his 3rd NBA game ever, were trying to impress their boss, and it just turned into an official fest. I think that there are big mistakes being made when you pay officials what they're paying them. You may remember that officials at almost every level have threatened to strike within the last year. NFL officials just got a huge raise. NBA officials got a big raise last year. And they're making dollars that make them think people actually enter the arena to see them officiate. That's not the case. You know, if you go through a game and you don't notice the officials at all, that's a great officiated game. If you're noticing the officials every trip down the floor as you were last night, that's bad.
Now, I guess the one that caused all the throwing was at a key time in the game. Obviously, not much time left, and Reggie goes up to shoot. And tell us what happened.
Well, you know, Reggie had already gotten 2 technicals, one for hanging on the rim, and then the other at a key time down the stretch. And so the officials are just going to make a call against him. But there's no way they can make this call. At least you don't think so when he, with the Pacers down 4, goes up for the 3, fakes Hakeem Olajuwon into the air. Olajuwon in no way is coming straight down on a plane. He is falling into Reggie as he comes down. And as he lands on top of Reggie's shoulder, actually takes his forearm and pushes away Reggie, and they call a charging foul on Miller. The place went absolutely nuts, and that's when everything started flying, because people just had it.
What were some of the highlights of things that were flying?
Oh, you know, I think the mixed drinks were the highlights, because you knew people had paid the most for those.
Sure. It's a stinger. It's a Rob Roy.
Yeah. But, yeah, you know, I know that's infantile and unfortunate that people did it, but it was quite a display, and it was fun to watch. So what the heck? And nobody got hurt, luckily. So it was amazing. I talked earlier this morning about seeing the Houston feed of the game later, and the play-by-play guy, along with Calvin Murphy, who does color for the Rockets. That was absolutely the correct call, and a gutsy call by this young official. to do that in front of this home Pacer crowd. And look at the debris on the floor. And these guys, meanwhile, have put an umbrella over their head so they're not getting hit by it. They said, if you've seen the movie Hoosiers, you know these Indiana people are just crazy about their basketball.
Well, you know what happened? See, the reason that they didn't call any fouls on Akeem, the official, the new guy, he mistook him for Patrick Ewing. And as you know, there's that rule that they can't.
You cannot foul.
I think, are we getting hooked up with Leslie Nielsen at this point? Okay.
Oh, fantastic.
We'll stick around, Mark. We're hooking up via satellite with Leslie Nielsen, who's in New York. And I'm being given the signal. And apparently, we are...
I don't want to throw a monkey wrench into this or anything, but what button do I push? What button do I push over here? Just the warm line and pot it up? Okay. Over here?
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
I recognize that voice. Good morning, Mr. Nielsen. Can you hear us okay?
Oh, wait a minute. There we are.
Wait a minute.
Hello!
Sounds like applause to me.
Leslie Nielsen joined us via satellite. Sorry about the confusion there, Mr. Nielsen.
Not a bit. Tom Chicken Mark.
Yes.
Tom Chicken Mark and Tom Chicken Mark.
Tom Chicken Mark. That's right.
Tom Chicken Mark.
It's usually Bob and Tom. Bob had to go home sick today, sir. So
was he not behaving? He was sick, you say?
Yes, he had a little mild head cold. Well, it's great to hear your voice, and we're huge fans of your work.
Because we're sophomoric and
we're idiotic.
Very good. But do you qualify? Are you really dumb and stupid? You have to qualify in the dumb and stupid category to really become a dear friend.
Yes, we are definitely that.
Okay, friends,
and
nice to talk to you.
And by the way, I do have a question for you, Leslie.
Yeah.
Surely a big star like you doesn't need to talk to
get
people.
Get the gun out, hit him, catch him. Yeah, don't call me Shirley. What do you want to know, Brad?
I want you to know we're all counting on you, Leslie.
Oh boy, very good.
I know you have a new video out, and it's called Bad Golf My Way. Now, are you an actual bad golfer?
We're all bad golfers. Do you play golf?
I quit. I was so bad. Bob is an avid golfer.
But the thing is, I play maybe once a month, if that. But even if you played once a week, how can anybody expect to do anything well when you do it that infrequently? And that's how most of us play. Sometimes even a couple of times a week is not enough. I mean, the point is that there are over 50 million golfers in this world, and 49,980,000 of them are bad golfers. We concentrate on the wrong end of our game. The game we play the most and the best is bad golf. So concentrate on playing bad golf better.
So you offer your tips. Can you give us some idea?
Every kind of tip possible. Bad golf. The first video was Bad Golf Made Easier, and the credo is, I don't play golf to feel bad. I play bad golf, but I feel good. And those are the key words. To feel good. But I love the game of golf, and I really I enjoy going to tournaments, but I end up making a fool of myself. But now I'm qualified. This should be some kind of degree in making a fool of yourself.
So now you can hit a bad shot and just look at the gallery and go, I meant to do that.
Well, yeah, you can say, well, of course. But every bad shot I meant to do, because those are the shots I make. But it's amazing. All you have to do is make one good shot, and you're back again. If you go by a skating rink or a basketball floor, and you can fantasize on being Wayne Gretzky or Michael Jordan, but when you're doing the daydreaming, that it is a daydream. But you make one good shot in golf, and you stand there, and you know for sure that Jack Nicklaus is inside. He's just waiting to step out, and you're going to be unveiled as the next golfing genius. And it's so dumb. We don't even go and warm up when we play golf. Most people. Go to the driving range.
Could we talk a little bit about the change in your career from being
you bet. Talk about anything you want.
This ultra straight guy. Well, first of all, you're from a very, very small town in northern Canada. Is that correct?
It's just about the first one was about. It wasn't even a town. It was a place called Fort Norman. Had 12 people in it.
Wow.
Five of which were members of my family.
How long?
It was a trading post. Way up north, close to the Arctic Circle.
And you were there till you were how old?
Came out when we had to come out of the north, or that far north, to find a place that had a school so my brothers could go to school. We ended up in a small town north of Edmonton, had 75 people in it. You talk about small towns.
The mice are hunchback. Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Yeah.
And then you evolved into this very serious actor. And
Well, I came down eventually to New York and studied at the neighborhood playhouse. And being serious and doing drama is a kind of protection because you pretty well have a good working knowledge of what's expected of you, and you can back and fill and protect your whatever you want to protect. But comedy is dangerous. I always loved laughing and loved doing comedy, but I'd only do it for friends or people who would be liable to treat me gently, or there are too many people who listen to your joke or watching you say, "Do you think that's funny?" Where do you get the idea that's funny, pal? That's not funny. And they slice you like it's a razor blade attack,
Now, what was the name of that serious police show that you had on television before Police Squad that was sort of...
The New Breed.
The New Breed, that's it.
That was my first television show.
Yeah.
It was the new breed of cop. It was about the Metropolitan Squad in Los Angeles. They were almost all of them college graduates. And it was a good series, too.
Yeah,
Quinn Martin. That was Quinn Martin's first TV show.
Because there's some of those scenes, because you're obviously very popular with the Police Squad series and the Airplane, and they show you delivering lines, and you watch it now, and you just go, he's being funny, look at that.
Hey, but right, they expect the punchline, the humor. Yeah. But what happens today, you don't realize that in two of the very important occupations in our society that I have provided and been part of, along with others, the training films for these occupations. In the first, it is Police Squad is used as a training film for police officers, and Airplane is used as a training film for everybody working in the airlines. It's amazing how everybody in those professions really... I get high signs from the police. There's a police department in Alabama, one of the towns, and they drop me a line because they get the tapes of Naked Gun and Police Squad and go to the Holiday Inn where they have a big screen TV and have a few beers and watch the shows. And they do it regularly.
Well, now that you are considered, I guess, to be a comic actor, are you finding in your personal life that when you tell jokes, people think they're much funnier?
If what? I'm sorry.
Do they think that you're much funnier now?
There's always a given there, because the moment you start to do stuff that people really laugh at, there's a kind of a kinship that you share together. You almost become brothers and sisters, and so you can almost reach a point where you just look at somebody and you say hiya, and they say, boy, and they laugh. Did you hear him say hiya? Boy, yeah. Laughing away and having a good time.
Right.
Now, do you have any plans to do any more movies? Are there any in the works that you can talk about?
Oh yeah, this time, coming to this point, in the past, you sort of like you'd look and say, boy, I don't see anything around anyway. Is there anything going on? But now I have about 6 movies, and a few of them are, I think, going to begin, and one is going to begin, I'm feel fairly confident, like in April. And different kind of comedy, but not all the same kind of insanity as Naked Gun.
Now, when you first did Airplane, did you know if it was going to work or not?
It didn't make any difference to me. It was a comedy, and it was fun doing, and I just had nothing but great pleasure out of it. And it turned out to be so highly successful. But for me, all I was saying was I was in it, like I've seen the Grand Canyon, That was all that was important, to be in a comedy. And it turned out that my yearnings were accurate, because my hidden desires, unexpressed wishes, I was a closet comedian, and I was too afraid to stand up and say I could be funny. And
who made the choice to make you
That was made by Jerry and David and Jim. They had decided long ago that I was going to be, wanted me to play the doctor. And a couple of people who were going to be in it read it and decided that they wanted to play the doctor, and they approached Jerry and David and Jim, say, this is the part I'd rather do than this one. And they said, well, we appreciate that, and we're delighted you'd still want to be in the picture, but we've cast so-and-so, Leslie, as the doctor, and that's the part we want him to play, and we'd love you to play this part, but if you can't, then we have to go on to somebody else.
We refer to that movie all the time, and I was just listening to you talk and thinking of the first scene that you're in an airplane. I think you're there in the seat, and the stewardess comes up and says, "Are you a doctor?" And you have the stethoscope in your ears, and you're going, "Yes, I am."
You know what I wanted to do in that, but I was too, frightened, to even make a suggestion in comedy. But I wanted to have them in my ears. I had them around my neck. I wanted to have them in my ears, and she said, "Are you a doctor?" And I leaned forward and said, and take them out of my ears. I said, "I'm sorry, I didn't hear you." Are you a doctor? Oh yeah, yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Are those movies? Are all the gags written in advance, or do they stand around the set sometimes and go, "Wait a second, I've got a different idea"?
Well, you can get that infrequently. It does happen infrequently, but the comedy doesn't happen, in my opinion, by accident. And they had worked so long and hard on that script. It was honed and refined down to the last conjunction, or indefinite article, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And so we did things word for word. There was really no improv in Airplane. And even in Naked Gun, the first Naked Gun, we might have done 4% of it may have been improv work. But then it never became improv, because if you did something new, it was spotted immediately. And they say, "Just a minute, we're making a change here, and let's see it again then. Let's see it again." And if they were in doubt, they would shoot it both ways and see it in the rushes or in the dailies, and they would then pick whichever was funnier. They were very definitely word for word almost.
Do you ever have trouble getting through a scene because you start laughing? When Priscilla Presley climbs the ladder and you have to look up and go, "Nice beaver."
The nature of the humor is that somebody else is supposed to laugh, and the moment, the nature of the humor also is that they don't try to tell anybody what's funny. It's just up there and you find it. And too much comedy, I find today, the director and mainly the director, they want to make sure you understand that what the audience is looking at is funny, and so they go out of the way to emphasize that all the time.
Leslie Nielsen is our guest, and I know you have to go, Mr. Nielsen. I just wanted to remind everybody that your new video is called "Bad Golf My Way," and we will urge golfers everywhere to go purchase it. Is it available at the standard video stores? Is that the best way to get it?
It's available everywhere. I mean, people are clamoring. I mean, the people over at the radio station here we're at yesterday, we went over the 1,000,000.1 mark, they said, in a couple of hours.
Well, great. Thanks a lot, Leslie.
Thank you.
It's great talking to you. Love your work.
Same here.
See, now I think that was one of those instances where I don't think he was trying to be funny, and he was.
That's great. Just hearing that voice is unbelievable.
How hot and wet do you like it? Oh, very hot and very wet. Just love him.
That's great,
man.
This is the Bob and Tom Show. Bob's not feeling too hot, so he's taken off a little bit early. We have some stuff coming up for you, including Kathmandu from Bob Seger. The significance of which, beyond, of course, the deep philosophical meaning of
going back to Kathmandu,
wherever the
hell he is,
which is quite a long journey. By the way,
yes, it is a long journey.
She must have been an incredible bitch.
It is a cash song.
It is right. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. We'll be back.
I must go to the.
Yeah, me too. 9:35 on
first.
Q95. Q95, 9:38, the Bob and Tom Show. Good morning.
Hi. We just got off the satellite with Leslie Nielsen. Very cool talking to him.
Are you a doctor? Yes, I am. It's just fun.
If you've never seen the movie, the original Airplane.
First Airplane.
There was absolutely nothing like it before. It was just nothing but gags.
Wonderful.
And it's one of those movies. Every time you watch it, you see another gag. Like if you look at the background on the wall, you'll see a little picture. There'll be a joke in there.
Come on, boys, let's get some pictures.
And
they take their pictures off the wall. See, hospital. What is it? It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now.
I can see you haven't seen the movie too many times.
No, I haven't seen it too many times.
It's a classic. Leslie Nielsen, cool guy. We have a couple things to do. The first of which involves you pressing that button.
Oh yeah, this thing on Q95. Hello, Q95.
Is this the cash song?
Yes! It's a cash song.
Yeah, baby.
It sure is. Who is this?
This is Charlotte.
Hey, Charlotte. What's your last name, Charlotte?
Charlotte West.
Charlotte West. That's a pretty
Charlotte's Web. I love that book.
West.
There's a pig in there. And
Charlotte, congratulations. You've just won 95 Hoosier Lotto cash tickets from Q95. This week's jackpot is $1 million.
Thanks.
You've also won a gift certificate to the Futon Shop, plus an interactive network control unit, plus 3 months service. Come to the Adams Mark November 8th through the 13th for a demonstration on how you can play TV. This is where you can play Jeopardy and lots of other stuff on TV. Call 1-800-INTV-1994 for information. Okay?
Great. Thanks.
Now, we've had a chance to play this interactive TV thing. It's very cool. You can play Jeopardy and stuff along with people. Right now, we're going to give you a shot at winning an additional 100 Instant Win Hoosier Lottery tickets. That's easily done. If you can identify either the song Ian plays or answer one of our questions. Chick, your category is?
I'll do Charlotte trivia or West trivia. Doesn't matter. I got questions for both.
Ian St. Ian?
Yeah.
I'll do fat rock and roll guitar players named West, or and yet there's a choice. Or Charlotte, who's your favorite rock and roll artist?
I'm going to say Pearl Jam.